Okay. Well, once again, is that somebody's clock again, or?
I'm turning it down.
Okay. Well, I want to welcome everyone to our January state call. We've got some important things to talk about tonight, and I think you're going to find this is a very significant call. So let's get going here. And first, I want to talk about the agenda tonight. Get that out of the way. We're going to lead off, as we normally do, with our vision statement and our mission statement. Then I'm going to identify a couple new leaders that we have in the state. Then we're going to talk a bit about the training manual process that we've gone through and the effect that that's had on our the status of our state and as far as the districts and district captains now. Then we're going to talk about, and you'll understand this as we get to it, we're going to talk about rebuilding the state of Indiana and what all that's going to involve and what programs we're going to focus on, existing programs as well as some new programs that we've got. And we'll look at our tracking summary again, and then, of course, closing. So let's get started here with our vision statement, and that is still the same. Our vision is to build a Hoosier grassroots community of citizens and legislators dedicated to the constitutional concept of self-governance. That's what we want our state to look like someday. Our mission statement, what we want to get accomplished in the meantime, working our way toward the vision statement that we just described, is we want all support. This is by June 30th of 2018. We want all the support positions, region captains filled, excuse me, and 70% of the district captain positions in the state filled. We have 100 districts in the state of Indiana, so that means 70 district captains in place by June 30th of 2018. And we may have to revise that as you will hear a little bit later. Second is to, of course, continue to strengthen our legislator relationships. Grassroots growth to 30,000. We're now over 21,000 in the state. So we're looking to eclipse that 30,000 figure. And then, of course, the ongoing educational objective that we're trying to set up for and trying to accomplish in each region. So couple new leaders in the state. These are actually individuals that already in a leadership role, but they've changed their role. John Ackerman. John, are you on tonight? I didn't remember seeing his name. Guess he's not with us tonight. John, oh, that's right. He's has another obligation on Wednesday night. I forgot about that. But John was our region captain for Region 5, and John this past month notified me that he would like change in responsibilities. He wanted to try something different. We got to talking, and I come to find out that John is very much into managing Facebook pages. He manages a Facebook page with over 10,000 participants on it. So we've made John then our Facebook editor, and he has joined our comms team and is now our Facebook editor. So that's a change in leadership. And the other change is our Region 3 region captain, Paul Phillips, has now moved to being full-time legislative liaison for us, and filling his role as region captain is Gary Harbaugh, who was a district captain in the region. Gary, are you on with us tonight? I don't see him on here. Anyway, Gary was actually district captain covering 2 districts in Region 3. So Gary's has been in Convention of States for a few years now, has made presentations at our town hall meeting here in Fort Wayne. So I'm sure Gary will be doing a great job for us as a region captain. So please, y'all, when you get a chance, welcome them aboard and welcome them on to taking on their new leadership roles. All right, let's talk a bit about the training manuals and that process that's been going on. I mean, we've been talking about these training manuals for, I know we were talking for them about them in state calls for a couple months prior to the manuals actually coming out in December. And as you know, we distributed all the training manuals to the district captains, region captains, and all the other support positions, and asking everyone to fulfill the requirement of signing off on the last page, the agreement page, where you agreed to comply as best you could with all the duties and responsibilities in the training manuals. Now, I want to mention to you that right next to this on this slide is what we call an elaborative. Now, this has not gone out to you yet. I will be sending these out. There is an elaborative for the district captain and one for a region captain. It's a supplement to your training manual. What we've done here is we've taken the duties and responsibilities from each of the manuals, the region captain and district captain, and we've basically elaborated a bit on each one, and that's what you see in the red ink here on this first page that I'm showing. Basically elaborating a bit to explain how this particular duty pertains to the state of Indiana. Again, these training manuals were meant to be templates. So the elaborative that we're sending out here is to kind of bring that to focus here on Indiana, because we're organized a bit different, so our reporting and information flows are a bit different. Okay, so we'll be distributing those here very shortly. But in the future then, when you give a new district captain his or her training manual, be sure that this elaborative also goes with it. And of course the same way would hold true for a region captain. All right, well, we distributed these manuals in December, and we asked everyone to sign off on the agreements, get them back to us by, well, it ended up being by January 12th. So when these manuals were sent out, this is what our state looked like. This is as of our state call in December. We had 41 district captains on record. And as you can see here, those are the ones in red, and the ones, the others were districts without district captains. We had 41 district captains, and we had 5 region captains. Well, we went through the training manual process, and this is what our state looks like today. Quite a difference, isn't it? We are now down to 13 district captains across this state. And as you can see, we now have a number of regions with only one district captain in it. We have some regions now with without any district captains. And we're down to 4 region captains. And, of course, one of John Ackerman, who was region captain in 5, has moved into a Facebook editor position, so that region captain position's open. And so we're down to 4 region captains. But we're here at 13 district captains. And you may be asking, well, what happened? What happened to the rest of them? Why did they go away? Well, they basically fall into 2 groups. One group, and I would say this was probably the majority, that we sent the training manuals out, we made phone calls, we sent emails, and the individuals just literally never responded to us. So I took that as a message, clear message, that for whatever reason, they were no longer interested in being a district captain. So we sent them a removal letter. The other group was composed of people that did respond to us, and they responded saying that for various reasons, some were health reasons, some were job-related reasons, but whatever, they were just no longer interested in continuing as a district captain. So that's basically the 2 groups that made up most of these that we lost. The point here is that this was an awakening for me, quite honestly. It told me that we were not in as good a shape as we thought we were, and I think we had a lot of district captains out there that weren't really doing anything. So it's better that this happened, and I think this is happening across the country, quite honestly. We're in Indiana. We probably would be considered that we've kind of got a head start on this and got it done earlier. A lot of other states are just now rolling this out, but other states they're beginning to experience the same thing, where district captains that really weren't doing anything anyway are being cleared out of the district captain ranks. Anybody have any questions on that so far?
No. Hey, Dale, I just recently joined the meeting here. I'm having a little technical difficulty. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Who is this?
This is Jim Hunnell.
Jim? Okay, welcome, Jim. We can hear you fine.
Very good. Very good. I'm doing this on my smartphone, so I'm looking at a very small screen, but I'm here with you.
All right, good, good.
Dale, this is Rodney. Just let me know if you want me to interject at any time and try to say what I said last night.
Yeah.
Ken did a good job last night too.
Yeah, Ken's with us again tonight, and he's gonna talk again about his area. But are you here, Rodney? Are we correct that other states are beginning to experience this? What we've experienced?
Yeah, that's correct. New York's gone through the same thing Georgia did before, and it's really a good thing, like Dale said, that you're finding out what you really got. And what I've said before was what we're realizing now is 4 years ago we were taking about any person that would step up, and we had no direction, didn't really know what we were supposed to be doing, and after time they kind of dropped off, and then we were missing the personal touch there as well, but we were all trying to get the resolution passed and all that. The personal touch is key to that, so that's kind of the history of what you're seeing now as the result of that, I think.
Okay. All right. Oh, was someone else trying to speak up? Okay. Well, I want to tell you, the way I see this now, after my awakening to what was really happening in our state, and that is that we have a great opportunity here. We're in the very beginning of rebuilding this state. We're under construction, I like to think of it. And this is a great opportunity. We have the opportunity now to bring people in, and I'm going to explain to you some things that we're going to be doing here. We have a great opportunity to bring people in and bring strong people in that will take on these roles and do what we're asking them to do. So this is going to it's kind of hard going through this process right now, but we're going to be better off when it's all said and done, and we're going to be a much stronger state than we were before. So I want to talk about now, I want to get into this rebuilding process that we're going to be under, and I want to identify some things that we have going for us now that we didn't have in the past, and some things that we're going to be doing. So the first thing I want to talk about is the national effort that's underway. You know, when I started with Convention of States, I don't know, 3 or some years ago, I guess it's been now, about the only thing we had going for us nationally was we had Mark Levin. He was a major proponent then, and he still is. And then we had the website, and that was about it. And then we had some celebrities out there that had stepped up and pledged their support, but that was about it. But goodness, folks, right now we have Prager U. I see that on Facebook all the time. We have the Sean Hannity show now that's underway right now, and of course we still have Mark Levin. We have Ben Shapiro, who's a millennial who's just recently came out in support of Convention of States. Pete Hegseth on Fox and Friends, very strong veteran individual who's come out in favor of Convention of States. And of course we have former Senator Tom Coburn and former Senator Jim DeMint. Both of those individuals you see out there frequently supporting Convention of States and passing the message along through various channels. So my point is, we've got a lot of good things going on a national level that are going to bring people in to Convention of States. Now, in addition to the national effort that's underway, we have a comms team that is developing here in our state, and our state communications coordinator, Ken Kashiba, is leading that effort up with these individuals that are on the comms team. And Ken, I'd like for you to say a few words about what some of the things that you've got cooking on the comms team.
Yeah, thanks, Dale. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, it's good to be back again tonight and reviewing some of this, because I think there's some more people on, and as Dale and Rodney have said, we are in rebuild mode, and I think our state comms team has started to come together. You know, since the holidays, we've gotten some organization and some people that have joined, and we have some good ideas going around getting booted around the camp that I think will will help support, and that's really what the comms team is about, is supporting the regional and the district captains in our goal of rebuilding. As Dale has said, we have a new opportunity in front of us, and I think Rodney I can't even say it at this point. Basically talked about how going forward, I think we're going to be bringing on stronger people, and one of the things I think that Rodney said in a previous meeting, and I think really added some fuel to the fire, and the fact that Hannity and some of these major supporters that we've got pushing the Convention of States right now is going to be feeding a lot of people into our funnel, and I think that's probably the most fertile ground that we could look at to start pulling some people that are going to come into this funnel excited. If not just excited, they're probably going to come in a little angry, and I think some of those people are the people that we need to be following up with and getting involved as quick as we can. We're going to be trying to put together a number of things to support that effort in the forms of video and memes for the Facebook page and for the Citizens Builder. And obviously, we're going to try and encourage volunteers to get involved with their smartphones and looking to give us some real good footage that we can use to spread the word. And as I mentioned the other night with the other teams, that some of my recent experience, I travel a little bit in my daily job, Ohio and Michigan, and I was up in Michigan the other night and was sitting around the table with about 4 different people, and one of them happened to be the president of the PGA, so I was lucky enough to, I was able to be in a conversation with him and a few other people, and the scuttlebutt around the table was really anger. It was anger directed towards our shutdown of the government, of a lot of the things that really brought all of us here. And I mentioned Convention of States, and they all had this blank look on their face and asked, "What is Convention of States?" So to me, it basically said there's a lot of work to be done. But I think there's a lot of people out there, as I sat around a table and listened to the anger and the disgust with our situation, and realized that, out of all those people, I don't expect the president of the PGA to get involved, actually, but it'd be nice if he did. But to me, it represented a lot of people who I think, once they learn a little bit about it, and that comes into Dale's program of educate. But I think once we touch base with some of these people, I think we do have a lot of people that would be interested in volunteering. So I agree with Rodney. I think what has to happen is when this funnel starts getting filled, it has to be a personal touch. And so between the regional captains and district captains doing the phone calls and making personal visits that way, getting the follow-up type videos and informational type material on our social media sites, I think we have a good chance of maybe hitting that 70% that Dale is thinking about having it revised. But I think it's still a good goal to hang on to, because I think going forward there's going to be enough stuff in there.
Thanks,
for us.
Ken.
Yep.
I'd like to ask everyone that is not speaking to mute yourself, please. We're getting a lot of background noise here. Okay, Ken mentioned an item, a theory that now I want to talk about, and that is the funnel theory. I remember in my days in the corporate world and in sales, and many of you have probably experienced the same thing, that if you get it's a numbers game. The more contacts you make and that you can get into the funnel, then the more likelihood that what is going to come out of the funnel is going to be a customer. Okay, well, I think the same concept applies here with what we're trying to do. And so I've got a picture of a funnel here, sorta. And what I'm showing is what I'm trying to show here is that all the people that our national efforts are bringing into Convention of States and the people that our comms team here in the state of Indiana will be bringing into the funnels, all those people coming into that funnel will work their way through and come out onto a tool that we have had for a long time, and it's called the follow-up tool. And George has been primarily responsible for the follow-up tool, but it's really supposed to be administered by each of the region captains, and it will be eventually. But this follow-up tool is now, in my mind, the key tool that we need to use to find the people we need to fill the positions of district captains and region captains. Now, the follow-up tool is in Citizen Builder, and we're going to devote the region captain meeting next week on Tuesday, January 30th at 9 p.m. I'll get the invitations out to everyone. We're going to devote most, if not all, of that meeting to training on the follow-up tool because it is key. We talked about the people coming through this funnel and coming on to the follow-up tool. Well, let me show you something here. In our next slide, this is the tracking summary that we look at every state call, okay? And the intention of it was to track our progress toward our mission statement goals. The main one here being petition growth. Now, these are new people that have signed the petition in our state. The people that signed for the current month and the number of people that have signed a petition year to date. Now, this would be starting July 1 of 2017 up to through this chart shows through January. But I want to show you something here. Look at here in January. I hope you can see this. These are the numbers by region of new people that have signed the petition just in the month of January. And we had a total of 700 new people sign the petition in the month of January. This would have been about December 20th through January 20th. We've had 700 people in just 1 month sign that petition. And those 700 people have hit the follow-up tool. Do you think, are we calling all those people? Are we contacting all those people? I doubt it. And look here, year to date, in this column, July 1, 2017 to current January. Look at the number of people per region that have signed the petition for a total of 4,100 people have come into Convention of States on that follow-up tool. So how many of those have we contacted? How many have we talked to? How many do you think, had we contacted them, how many of them might have come out the bottom of that funnel and hit the leaders management tool, which is the tool that shows the individuals that have applied for a position? Folks, I think we have been missing the opportunity here to find the people we need to rebuild the state of Indiana. So we're going to focus on this follow-up tool. And we're going to need everyone's help on this because 700 people in 1 month, that's a lot. And I would say that's probably the effect of the Sean Hannity show showing up there, as well as PragerU and some of the other national events. Does anyone have any questions on this? I want to make sure everyone understands this. Anyone have any questions?
Dale?
Yeah.
It's Jerry. In Texas, George keeps knocking them down so fast I can't really get a count, but in Texas I know they got, like the day before this attack on the website happened,
yeah,
about them, they had, and theirs had been creeping up like everybody's, but they had 10 times as many in that day as they had any other day before the Hannity ads started.
Wow, wow.
And a lot of them had phone numbers and were volunteering. The phone number, the people with phone numbers provided are a lot higher than before.
Great.
So those are people that are they're offering more contact than they did before, ready to jump in.
Good.
And there's still quite a few of people with volunteer checked off in their column on the follow-up tool that need to be contacted.
Yep, yep. We have, I'm sure, we have people that have volunteered that are setting in the district dashboard for each district that have never been contacted, that are volunteers. Now, just because they volunteer, you have to understand that doesn't mean they want to do anything. All right, because my experience in contacting the volunteers when I was a district captain, that many of them really didn't want to do anything. They just, for some reason or another, checked the box. But you never can tell. You know, there may be one or two there out of the group that you're calling that would be interested in helping or interested in stepping up. My point is, we got to start working this because this is where we're going to get the people. You just think about this: 4,145 people since July 1. What's a good percentage? 10%? That's probably too high. That'd be 400 and some people. 1%. What if only 1% of that 4,100, 1% decided to apply to be a district captain? We'd have 40 new district captains, or we'd have 40 candidates. So this is I think this is an opportunity for us here, and we got to focus on it. Okay. Now, like I said, we're going to devote the January 30th meeting to training on the follow-up tool. George, I know the follow-up tool has been your baby. I don't know who's making that noise. Would you please mute yourself? But George, you got any comments you want to make on the follow-up tool?
Hey, I'll just a little bit with the what I've been seeing in the follow-up tool since Hannity started. We get anywhere from 100 to 150 a day new signers. A couple days have popped up over that. With the Citizen Builder follow-up tool, it's real easy to take care of that amount, and I get a thank you email out to them. Has my contact information in it and some other information. Has information on who their legislators are and phone numbers, things of this sort. I do not call individuals all that much. I know I would not have made 4,100 phone calls.
Right.
You know, and if we're going to start making phone calls to all the people that give us phone numbers, it ain't going to be just me. I can tell you that. We're putting together a decent. Well, I'm kind of jumping ahead here a little bit, but
yeah.
I won't say anything about that. But the Tuesday will be, like Dale said, will be mostly concentrated on the technical aspect, and the mechanical side of the follow-up tool. If you ever did anything in the follow-up tool in Nation Builder, it was kind of cumbersome. But on the follow-up tool, I can whip out 100 in probably 30, 40 minutes. It doesn't sound, and that's pretty much just scanning them too, and just making sure everything came in right on it and stuff. But was that Jerry or Rodney? I'm not sure which, but a lot of the people we are getting in now do have phone numbers. Probably like 90-95% of them have their phone numbers with them. That's more than what we usually get. So.
Well, and when they provide us a phone number, we've got to make the phone call. It's just we've got to do that. We got to take that opportunity to make that personal connection. All right, George, thank you. A couple other things with regard to this is we're going to create a district captain recruitment team, and right now that how do you like that image? Rachel sent that to us today. I want you for a COS district captain. That's a good one.
I think your picture should be there.
I stole it, though. I stole that image. I didn't create it. I stole it from another Slack workspace, so I don't want to have credit for that.
I think we need a Photoshop Dale's picture into that.
You what? Would you say, Ken?
I think we need to Photoshop your face into that one there.
That's what I was afraid. I was afraid you said that. Yes. Okay. But what we're creating here is a DC recruitment team, and right now that's going to be myself, George, and Rachel, and we're going to focus on the regions, the districts in the regions without region captains. Now, the regions with region captains, guys, as region captains, you're going to have to carry the ball as far as contacting people in your region, and I would hope the district captains that are remaining in your region will step up and help you do this. We need you to step up and help your region captain in your particular region, because there's not anyone else. We don't have anyone else right now. We need you to step up and help. And we have a tool that we're going to try and use. Rachel, you want to talk about Telepatriot?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about it. So for those of you who haven't heard about it yet, there's a new app that's available for Android and for iPhone. It basically makes making phone calls for any mission a lot easier. Basically, to explain it as best I can, is that you load the spreadsheet with phone numbers and names as well as a script into the app, and basically it'll feed you one person at a time. So you open up your iPhone or your Android app, and you say you want to make calls for whatever mission you're doing, and a number will show up, and the name of the person. You click call, the app calls the person, you then read the script, and then based on whether the person you spoke to the person, you left a message, there was no answer, you just put that information into the app, it records it automatically into the spreadsheet, sends it back, and then another phone number will come through. And the biggest benefit to that is, besides not having to actually work with spreadsheets and have to have your computer open while you're making phone calls, it also works seamlessly. So if there's 5 different people making calls at the same time all over the state, the app will know to just send the next number to each person. So for those of you who've done this before, you have to divide the spreadsheet up amongst the number of people making calls and send a piece to this person and a piece to that person. That won't happen anymore. The central list of callers, calls that have to be made on the spreadsheet, will be in the app and will feed automatically a number to whoever happens to be making a call. So I think it's going to be very helpful.
Okay, good. You might have any questions for Rachel on the Telepatriot app? Okay. This next program that we're working on and we're going to roll out, we're calling it our education program, and Rachel is carrying the ball on this right now. She's developing this. It's going to be rolled out in modules, in a module format. And Rachel, I'll just let you, if you want to, I'll let you just go ahead and explain it here, and I'll jump in later. Go ahead.
Sure. So I don't know if you guys can actually see any of what's on the screen. It looks really small to me. Basically, what Dale has posted up there is just an outline. This is a work in progress, but just to give you all a little bit of an understanding of what we're thinking as far as the format. So it's going to be done in modules, and the whole philosophy behind this education program is that it's going to be implemented in either one-on-one or small group format. We haven't decided yet which one. And it's going to be really a mentoring program as well as a training program. The idea behind it, besides delivering content, is to build relationships and camaraderie within the leadership between district captains and support personnel from the beginning, so that we're more likely to catch problems or note when people are struggling. Just like Rodney said earlier on about having the personal touch, this is going to be the first place that we're going to be able to really implement that. It's also going to be an opportunity to identify people early on who may be struggling or need support. It'll allow us to adjust the training as we go on, because we'll be getting feedback from people as they go through it. Additionally, we'll be able to test people's commitment early on, so we can identify people who may have been gung-ho to become a district captain, but once they actually have to go through training, we could see that they're struggling. The format also is probably going to be set up with some sort of an assignment and then discussion format. So, for example, in the first module, which is overview and background, we might assign the new DCs to watch a few videos on conventionofstates.com describing certain things, and then they would have a conference call with the trainer where they would have a discussion. The trainer can ascertain whether they've actually digested the material, and that would happen in each of the modules. We haven't decided on the format exactly, but that's the idea behind it. As far as content, one of the other things that we really want to do is there's going to be a module on legislative, there's going to be a module on grassroots, and a module on technology, and a module on communications. And we were also thinking, in addition to follow up on this philosophy of building relationships and camaraderie, of bringing in the support personnel for each of those teams to participate in the training, and also so that the DCs feel comfortable with these people. We want the DCs to know who the legislative liaison is, to know who the grassroots coordinator is, so that they're much more likely to pick up the phone or Slack or email that person if they have questions or concerns going forward. So, yeah, I think that's basically what I have to say. Dale, if you want to add anything.
Okay. Well, I'm really excited about this program because ever since I started in Convention of States, and I've seen it happen time and time again, it's like the old saying, we bring new people in to Convention of States and we're asking them to drink from a fire hose. We have so much in the way of wonderful training materials. We've got COS University now. We've got videos. We've got commentary. The problem is, I've always felt it's in a fire hose format, and we're bringing new people in, especially district captains. We throw them into the district captain job and expect them to perform the job, and at the same time, we're flooding them with all this material that they're supposed to absorb. So this program is not intended to replace any of that material or create new material. It's intended to walk them through that material and give them the main things that they need at the beginning. It's still their responsibility as an individual to continue to educate themselves, as well as their followers, as well as their constituents. But this program is to kind of walk them through and get them settled. And I think we'll have stronger people, and we'll have people that will have a higher likelihood of success. Anyone have any questions or comments on this?
Yeah, it's just a comment. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this because I kind of inherited this district captain job, and I still am not quite sure where to start and what to do.
Is this Jim?
Yes.
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're a perfect example of the kind of person, a new person that's coming in, and this program is designed specifically for you. So be patient with us. We're still developing it. I'm hoping that we'll have something to roll out here initially next month. So be patient with us.
I'm looking forward to it.
I might mention this is for district captains, and we also have one for region captains. So, ideally, a region captain would be somebody that's been a district captain for a few years and has all that experience and knowledge built up and developed. Well, that's not the case anymore. We have to look at candidates for region captain that may, in fact, have never been a district captain. That's just the way it is right now. So a good qualified person is someone we can consider for a region captain role. So, any other questions or comments? Okay. Well, let me wrap this up. I was searching for a quote that seemed appropriate for where we are. I found this quote. I don't know who Susan Young is. Anybody know who this is? I don't know who she is, but I found it on the internet, and it seemed appropriate for where we are. And that is, when you care deeply about someone or something, repairs are worth your investment of time, energy, effort, heart, and resources. Whether it is to repair a broken trust or a damaged relationship, take the initiative to make it right and make it better. Folks, that's where we are. We are taking the steps to repair what is broken and to make it right and make it better. So,
Dale?
Yes.
Dale, this is Diane. Can I make a quick comment? I just want to point out that it's a good thing to bring in new blood, and you're evidence of that, Dale, because you have really created a sophisticated operation here. And I think that we're going to get a lot of quality people coming in from the Hannity ads. And what you have created is something we can be very proud to bring these people into. And I just want to reiterate the personal touch aspect that I've heard mentioned several times. And the most important thing that I have learned through all this, I heard Mark Meckler say it early on, change happens through relationships. So it's very worth the time to contact all those people. So thanks so much for all your hard work.
Well, thank you, Diane. For those of you new, that was Diane Gomez, and she was a former state director. Diane led our state to getting the resolution passed. So,
hello, Dale.
Diane's kind of an icon in the state of Indiana.
Dale,
thank you, Diane. Yes, who's this?
This is Brian Christensen.
Yeah, hi, Brian.
I have a question. What's the current state of the website and the tools?
Your question was, what's the current state of the website?
And the tools, yes.
Okay. Are you referring to the site being down the other day?
Yeah, it's probably when I was trying to work with it, yes.
Okay.
But also, just, is it at completion? Is it near completion? Is there more ease of use features being implemented?
Jerry, can you comment on that?
Well, yeah, when I get unmuted. As far as ease as use to go, the whole Scissors Builder thing, I think, is easier to use. George commented on how the follow-up tool is better, and it's going to get better than that even. For instance, you can click on a phone number, and if you've got Skype set up on your computer or you're using your follow-up tool on your phone, it'll dial the number for you.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
But I think what Brian was asking was, are there more parts to it to come yet? Still under development? If I understood his question right, and I'm sure there are.
Well, I was just getting started. Of course, the website's been up better today. We had an extremely severe attack by somebody out on the internet trying to shut us down, which they kind of did for a day, but it's back now. Some other things coming will be COS University 2.0, new software, new courses, and a much easier interface to use, and that will be accessed through Citizen Builder only. You have to log into Citizen Builder and get to the COSU 2.0 to get for it to pass your roles and your login information, everything over to the new COSU. So there are things coming, yeah.
Okay. All right.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, just real quick on how it's acting now. When you guys were talking about the follow-up tool a while ago, and Jerry mentioned Texas, I went to look at it, and there was like 800 and some people in there. But I noticed right off the top, so that the website is up, but look at your follow-up tool and make sure it looks right. The one in Texas had some people there that are on the leadership team there, and some of the names were like Houston, Texas, and things like that. So I heard earlier today there were the follow-up tool wasn't quite right from the attack or something. But Citizen Builder from all the states. This is Rodney Huckleberry, by the way, the regional director, in case you're new. All the states are saying that the ones that were familiar with Nation Builder, this is like 1,000% better over what that was. It's very easy to use. It's got great filters and things like that. One thing missing is being able to search people. You have to use a filter there, but they're doing that. I was talking to Mike Cassidy. He's one of the super SIAs that's been helping with Citizen Builder. I was talking to him today, and he was telling me they're still working some kind of critical things in there, but I haven't noticed them. But there is a long list of enhancements and improvements that are coming. There's a long list of them that they're going to be making over time. And now that we own this, they'll be able to make those. It's going to take a long time. Yeah. One thing real quick. Oh, crap. I lost it. Oh, Dale, what Dale was talking to them tonight about all those plans and the education Rachel was explaining and all that. When he mentioned all states across the country experiencing the same thing of losing district captains, the majority of the states haven't gone through this process. That was his question earlier. And they haven't realized how many district captains that are inactive in their states, and they're going to find that. And so Indiana right now is on the leading edge of this whole thing. And the improvements in the education there is just, I'm loving everything I'm hearing there and seeing. So you guys are on the forefront of this, and it could be something that could be spread across the country. So great work on everybody.
Well, anybody have anything else they want to comment on or say? Okay. Well, we will wrap it up then. Look for our next state call. I forgot to bring up my calendar here, but it should be then the fourth Wednesday in February, and that'll be February 28th. So that'll be our next state call. And again, now next Tuesday evening, 9 o'clock, will be our follow-up tool training. That'll be part of the region captain call that night. And We want district captains and region captains on that call so that we can get fully acclimated on using this follow-up tool. So, guys, thank you for participating tonight, and just remember, we're under construction. We're headed the right way. We're taking the initiative to make Indiana right and making it better. So, good night, everyone, and thank you. Good night.
Take care, Dale.
Night.
Good night.